everybody. Steph here. I just finished my top 25 games I learned in 2020. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. But so I was like in studio mode. I already So anyway, thank you for joining me for today. Normally on Fridays I run through everything that I played in the past week or so. And I just, have a general chit chat with everybody in the chat. So hope everyone's having a great new year and playing lots of games. Horrible Gamer's like, there aren't even 500 days in a year. How are you learning 500 new games in the year? Yeah, I'm crazy. It's as simple as that. I'm crazy. Derek's like, I'm happy with 200 new games a year. Yeah, that's fair. That's great. I set my goal at like 400, which is like manageable. And then like if it gets to be like 450, I'm like, all right, maybe I'll push it to 500 and try and learn the 500 by the end of the year. All the games, all the time. That's basically my motto at all times. And so with conventions, it helps to like rotate the game collection a little bit. So I have a ton of games for sale, and then I buy a whole bunch of new and used games at cons, so I have more games to play. It's like it's a sickness, right? I want more games, but I have too many games, so I have to sell games. And then I want more games, and I want more games, and more games, and more, and more, and more. So yeah, every year is a new challenge. And so this year I am working on an alphabet challenge right now, and playing 100 unique titles to see how long it takes me to learn or to play 100 unique titles. We know it will happen, because every year I sign up for a geek list to keep track of all the games that I play. Yeah, I have the BG Stats app, so that's been great. I've been using that a whole bunch. But I put in, like, in the geek list, I have, like, my new to me list, and then I have the total games that I've played and unique games that I played, and I have a list of everything I've played. So it's just all nice to have it right there. And so I always update that list. And yeah. It's nice to have all those stats for me readily available. I have over half of the alphabet challenge done. That is correct. I've been like, Michael, let's play this X-Nimt game. No reason. No reason. Hey, X-Nimt is great for what it's worth. It's super fun, and it's a solid X selection for the alphabet challenge. So totally worth it. Totes worth it. Yes, 2021 Diversity Challenge. That's the geek list right there. If you want to join in on that fun, you can. So totally do it. Yeah, we've definitely bought and sold from probably, yeah, everybody. Everybody who buys and sells games at cons, we probably bought and sold some stuff to. I really miss Virtual Flea Market so much. Oh my goodness, I can't wait for the first one. So I have a long list of games to talk about, just because I talked about this week and last week, because last week Michael and I did our top 10 games we learned in December, so we didn't actually get to talk about the weekly recap. So I'm gonna have a little bit of an extended day today. I go through so many games, and I can't keep them all, so I do have good stuff to sell. That's for sure. I do have 400 games for sale. The list is long. I try and do some PIFs as well, and get some games that people are wanting into their hands. So I try and participate in the PIF, and what PIF is, pay it forward first. It's a geek list on BGG where people can look at whoever piffed last at their collection and their wish list, and then send out a game to them based on what they want, and then you're next in line for that piff. So it's kind of like a trade. You're trading. It's like a ongoing trade. Actually, it looks like I'm at 315. So I did do a end of year auction on the Geek, and I sold a fair number of stuff, which is awesome. So my sale list is now down to 315. That's great. Bryant says, "Oh, I need to look at that piff thing. I have a few things I've been needing to get rid of." There you go. It's a great opportunity to, hopefully get somebody a game that they're looking for. And, you can whittle down your collection a little bit because, you don't need to keep all the games you have, right? I mean, I don't remember the first game I ended up selling, but I was like, I can't sell any of these games. I remember thinking I'm going to be so sad to let go of any game. But I haven't looked back. I need to look forward and sell more games. I got too many. I have too many. I've been trying to add the games on myself that are not in my BGG inventory to my Geek profile while watching today. Yeah, it's good to keep your inventory up to date. I find it can be a challenge at points to... That's why I have an ongoing incoming and outgoing list of games that come into the house and that leave the house. It's just easier to have an ongoing list, not a Geek list or not an update to BGG, but just a spreadsheet to help me keep track of what's coming in and what's going. Michael says, so 168 pages times 25 entries, nearly 4,200 piffs. That's awesome. Hey, Ambient Crystal, welcome. Thank you for the raid of 15. That's amazing. Thank you, guys. Hopefully you're having a fantastic Friday. Let's see if I can put my little emotes. Can I see my emotes? Maybe not. Raid! Let it raid. Hopefully you guys are playing some fun games today. I didn't see if they told me what they were playing. I was just talking about some different... Michael posted Piff Geek List. I was talking about piffing, which is pay it forward first. There is a geek list that's an ongoing community of people that anybody can participate in. And the last person to post in the geek list has provided a game to the previous person. And so you'll see a chain of people giving away things to other people. And so if you provide a game to somebody else, then you're next in the line, and then people will look at your wish list and then send you something, and then so on and so forth. So you can take a look at what people want on their wish list, see if you have anything that you don't want anymore, or they might go to a better home to somebody who actually really excited to play it, and then you can send it their way. And it's kind of like an ongoing pay it forward. And so that there's about Michael just did the math. There's about 4,200 entries on this geek list because everybody likes to participate in the piff, and it's not a common thing that people know about. So I'm excited to talk about it right now. It was just something that came to mind, and it's one way that I, essentially move my collection along, because we were talking about virtual flea markets and how I miss them so much because I have so many games for sale. And I have too many games, and I like to play so many games that when I go to cons, whenever that may be, that I like to buy people's used games and sell my games. So that's kind of like a rotating collection of games because I like to try so many different games. Michael says, you gift to the last person and someone will gift to you. Yep, that's exactly what the piff is. It's a piff train. Piff. We try to fulfill something they want, and not just anything. So yeah, you do try and fulfill to make them happy in a game that they would want. And Gamer Daddy Live says, I cannot believe I've never heard of that before. Well, hopefully you can join our little community of piffers. And it's fun. Everybody's great. There are also trade it forwards as well. I know there's like a 2-player trade it forward where it works kind of the same way as Piff, but it's for 2-player games or games that work well with 2 players, I guess. I haven't looked at the solo trade it forward or the value trade it forward. I haven't seen any of those, Michael, but I do follow the 2-player one and the Piff. But I know that there's a whole bunch of cool, like, little communities like that on BGG that, you know, you can just be a part of. And I know that there's a lot of different challenges going on at the start of a new year. You know, I mentioned earlier the alphabet challenge and the 100 by 1 challenge, and then there's the 10 by 10 challenges, and then like the crazy like multi challenges. I don't know, there's like so many things at the start of each year on BGG that you can like subscribe and participate in these different challenges, and generally you get like a micro badge for it. So yeah, it's great. Right now it's just my Hodgepodge. Every Friday I just hang out and chat and talk about the games that I've played. I already went through my top 25 games that I learned in 2020. So now I'm in the second part of today's features where I just kind of talk about the games that I played recently and what's going on. So Michael's posting all those links for the trades and the piffs and everything like that. So if you're interested in participating in stuff like that, you know, check out those different links that he's posting. And it's cool. It's a cool community of people. There's one for RPGs and war games as well. Well, see, I don't do that, so that's less exciting for me. Gotta drink, gotta caffeinate, gotta get energized. Thanks, Derek. So, my list is long because last week, Michael and I talked about our top games that we learned in December. I didn't actually run through any of the games that we played that week. So I'm going to start there and just kind of go from there. The first game I wanted to talk about was Photosynthesis. This is an older title, but we recently learned the new expansion. I think it's called Under the Moonlight. So Photosynthesis and the expansion. Now I taught Michael how to play Photosynthesis. And then we played, on the stream, we played the expansion. And probably shouldn't have jumped into the expansion with all the modules. Now, there are 3 modules in the expansion. And it can be a little bit much. I mean, so it's already pretty thinky. The Photosynthesis is a thinky, abstract game. When you add in Under the Moonlight, it makes it a much more thinky game, which might be detrimental to the game. I didn't mind it. I do think it's hard to plan out where the moon is going to land. So there's a moon feature that the sun is going one way, the moon's going the other way. But the moon will move like 5 spaces, and you can see where the next moon spot will be. But after that, there's no other markers to keep track of where it's gonna land. So you're like, well, in 3 rounds, how am I? You know, you're then trying to count where you need your little critter to be, because everybody gets to be a little animal, and they're trying to collect moon points, much like your trees are trying to collect sunlight. So it's just a lot more to think about. Each little critter that players have will have a unique ability, and you know, you just do the best you can to collect moon points and sunlight points and grow your trees. And with the moon expansion, you're also putting in an elder tree possibly that's eating up a space the whole game and blocking lots and lots of sunlight. And there are moonstones, which will be blocking spaces as well, where animals can gather moonlight if they're adjacent to it. So all of these blockers are already going to be existing. And so it makes the board even more crowded and harder to get things done. So I mean, if you're already a huge fan of photosynthesis, I think this would be a great addition for a little bit of extra play. But for me, I think I'll just stick to the base game. I'll keep the expansion, but I'm not sure it's one that I'm gonna play with often. Dan and Jeff, Michael and I sat down for a 6-hour teach and play not most, but through High Frontier 4. So this was a big experience, right? It's not a game I've ever really been interested in, but because Jeff and Dan had bought my time through my Kickstarter, they were like, we're going to make Steph play these games that she may not ever want to play otherwise. So this was their chance to kind of, give me a noogie and say, you're playing this game. And I'm glad I played it. Ultimately, it's not really a game for me. It's a big experience game, and there's a lot of things going on. I didn't understand most of what was happening for like 3 hours. And then once I did finally kind of understand what was happening, it was like almost too late because I was trying to move my ships around. I didn't have fuel, and it was just kind of floating around. I think the game is too much trouble for what it's worth. I don't know. It's just not for me. I can understand why people like it. It's just not for me. I love the board. I think the board is gorgeous. I think it's really beautiful. Michael says, I like it, but it's deep. And it's very, very deep. It's so deep, it's a black hole. But, now I can say I played it. Jeff won. Because he's the master of all things High Frontier. Yeah. High Frontier is not on your list to try either. I could totally understand that. No black holes. We played a game. Michael and I played a game of Santorini, New York. Michael hated it. He hated it. He is not a fan of Santorini, and he was certainly not a fan of Santorini, New York. I think they fall about the same for me. If you like Santorini, you probably should try out Santorini, New York to see if it's a game that you would like. The cards are used in a different kind of way, and you're kind of bidding for turn order with the cards, and they provide different actions for you. And, yeah. It's fine. I know that if you didn't like Santorini, this won't change your mind. So Santorini, New York, the production is fantastic. I particularly like the art. I like the gold buildings. I mean, the production is fantastic, and I like that it's the map of Manhattan. The grid place to place your buildings and stuff. I think it worked. I'm not terribly excited to play it again, but I would. Michael's like, Santorini is okay. Santorini, New York is bad. Hard pass. I agree. I don't think it is the worst game of 2020. I played much worse. So. Michael and I played Mystic Scrolls. We played it on the stream as well. It's a fast dice rolling game to try and manipulate your dice to make these spells trigger. What's interesting about this game is that if you allocate dice to a spell, you immediately repopulate your up to 5 dice from a pool in the middle of the table. So the faster you can get your spells created, the more dice you can possibly use in the round. So you're trying to roll these dice, fill your spells, attack. So once the round is over, you initiate all your spells, and the spells will heal you or attack other players. So you're going to try and deal damage to the other players so that they lose their health before you do, and then you win. That's Mystic Scrolls. I don't think it's probably going to be a long-term keeper, but I don't mind playing it. I think it's perfectly fine and a it's a good filler. It's good. What's next? Oh, on the stream we played Coconuts. Coconuts is... When did this come out? I think it came out in 2013. Was it 13 or 15 or 16? I have no idea when Coconuts came out originally. I really like it. This is a dexterity game with little cute monkeys. They're so cute. Okay, it was 2013. I'm like, I think it was 2013. Okay, cool. And yeah, you're shooting these little coconuts using your monkeys. They kind of like the monkeys, you put the coconut in their head, they go wee, and you're trying to get these coconuts into the cups. And when you get it in a cup, you take the cup and you start trying to build a cup pyramid. But the other player is gonna try and shoot coconuts into your cups and steal your cups. So you can play it a few different ways. You can play it in real time where it's just coconuts flying everywhere, or you can play just one turn at a time, and whoever can complete their pyramid first will win. Coconuts does have a new publisher now. That is why I got the game, I believe. So I think the original publisher was Korea Board Games, and now it got picked up by Underdog Games, who did the Trekking the World, Trekking National Parks. So I am actually not sure which publisher sent me Coconuts, but I work with both of them, so it's awesome. I mean, I've always been a fan of Coconuts. It's a game that it's been on my radar to pick up for a while now, so that really worked out for me because I quite enjoy the game. I think it's like a super fun filler dexterity game, and I'm a big fan of dexterity games in general anyway, so this works for me. Ambi said she demoed Coconuts at Dice Tower Con one year, and it was fun. Yeah. I think that's where I learned it at Dice Tower Con too, originally. Derek's like, so many publishers for that game. Korea Board Games, I believe, is the number one, and the new one is Underdog Games. So I know Mayday was publishing that for a long while. So I really like that game. I think it's great. The next game on my list to talk about is a game we played just the other night. Michael and I, we played a game of 7 Summits. This is a new push your luck game where you are trying to get your hikers to the top of the tallest mountains on each continent. So there's 7 different mountains to try and climb. You will be drafting dice, or in a 2-player game you draft dice, and it's a D4. So you roll all 6 D4s at the beginning of the round, and you're gonna take the die and move up the track on that mountain. If you want, you can take that die and re-roll it with a blue avalanche die, and you might roll an avalanche and have to go all the way back to the bottom. Or you might have clear path, and you just keep moving. You try and get to the top of each of these mountains for more points. Along the way, you're going to pick up some equipment stuff and band-aids and all these different things, and you'll get bonuses for as you do. So it's a cute little game. I like it. Push your luck. The designers are Daryl and Adrian, who did Sagrada, which I absolutely love. Different types of games, though. Whether or not 7 Summits is a long-term keeper, I'm not sure about that, but it works for me for now, and I'm happy to play it. And, yeah. Lurk! You can go right on and lurk. Thanks for lurking. Next on my list to talk about is Succulent. And this is probably one we'll play on the stream sometime soon. We will show it off. It's a Renegade title, and it is tile placement, area control type game, where you are making your little gardens, and every time you place a garden tile down, you'll collect the different petal leaves. These leaves will be used to fulfill cards that are out there, and the cards will provide endgame scoring as well as some immediate bonuses. So You're just trying to collect these petals to collect these cards. Everything about it is fairly nice. Nothing about it is very unique or original or makes it stand out. So for me, it was okay. It was okay, and it's okay enough to play on the stream to see a second play, and if it changes my mind or anything. For now, it does what it does, and it's fun. I also think that games these days have to be a little bit better than fine, but I'm not saying no. I'm never playing that game again. That's not this game. So it works. It's good. Michael and I played when did we play it? What day is it? Maybe on Sunday. We played a game of Tidal Blades. And we played on the stream. It's excellent. It's really good. That it definitely went better the second play. Our first play was kind of scattered, and we weren't really sure in some rules, but we were able to figure that out and play much cleaner game on the live stream, so that worked well. I like it. I don't hate it. I think it's a keeper for now. I don't know if it's a keeper for the long haul. I'm curious about any expansions it might add. Maybe they'll clean up some of the 2-player rules a little bit. I do think it's probably going to be best with 3 players, and we've only played a 2-player so far, so I would like to try it with 3 players. The artwork and production, everything about Tidal Blades is very good. It's very nice. So there's a lot to be said about great artwork. So I think it's definitely worth checking out. I know it's on a lot of people's top favorite games that they learned in 2020, so it could be up there for you as well. Yeah, the size of the box is absolutely ginormous, so that is definitely not attractive to me. It has to go on the top of a shelf. And that space is at a premium right now. We have so many huge boxes on the top of the shelf. But the box size is absolutely huge, and I don't particularly like that either. So, it can be an issue for many people, I'm sure. I've seen a lot of complaints in the forums about that. Another game we played on the stream, in front of the elevators, another Sashi and Sashi title, which they always have new and interesting ideas. This is a very light card game of putting people in a line, and the people who survive till the end of the round and are at the front of the line will get some points. But, as with any line, people are going to cut you in line. So you have to watch out for those people. And it's great. It's really great. I think it works really well with 2 players. Dan had a lot of complaints about more than 2 players. I've only played it 2 players, so I don't really know. But it's one that I would be willing to try just because I'm curious. With 2 players, you're controlling 2 colors of people. So I was like, the red and the green. So try to get those people at the front of the lines. So maybe with 3 and 4 players, you get only 1 color and it's a lot more chaotic. I don't really know. But for me, this game really worked. It worked well. So I'm glad to have it in the collection. I believe it's available in the BGG store if you're looking for a copy. And a light 2-player game, 2 to 4 players, I guess, but probably best with 2 based on what I've heard. A game I learned this year. Yay! One of the new games I learned this year is called Showdown Tactics. And we played on the stream already. This is super fun. I really, really enjoyed this game. The more I'm playing it, the more I'm enjoying it. It is a memory type game of placing these mahjong type tiles down, and it's an electronic box, and so the box will know what tile you played and what tile that your opponent played, and then it will tell you who won the duel. So if I play a 9 and Michael plays a 3, it will say I win because my number is higher. However, the 1 beats a 9, so if he plays a 1 and I play a 9, he will win. And it will say he wins. And then those tiles. And then they get placed to the side, and they're still face down. So you're playing all your tiles, 1 through 9, in a round. And if you can get 5 wins among the duels that you have, you will win the round. You'll win the bout or the round or whatever. And it's best of 3, right? So if you're trying to win 2 matches to win. And so it's it's a simple game, but there's surprisingly a lot of depth in what you can remember. And like, okay, if you win something and you played a 4 and they played a white tile, then you know it's either a 1 or a 3. And so you're trying to like deduce what they've played so you can play your tiles better, because the black ones are all even and the white ones are all odd. And so I was really impressed with this game. I'm like, oh, this is just going to be whatever kind of game. But for me, it really works. I'm a big fan of this game, actually. So I'm excited about it. It takes 3 AAA batteries, for those wondering. Michael's like, it should be named 9 Dragons, but it's called Showdown Tactics for some reason. Dr. Sign says, this one surprised me. Yeah, I played with the chat the other day, so we got into a few rounds, and it's fun. It's fun. I really like it. 9 Dragons something. 9 Dragons Showdown. What else do I got here? Michael and I decided to look through the box of 3+ players. I have a whole box of 3+ players that we just can't play. And to see if we could play any with the chat and get them involved in some games. So I talked about a game called Mega Mouth. Wah. This game was a total miss for me, unfortunately. It's a silly gimmick for a party game. You get a list, maybe 1980s movies, action movies, and then you have to say the movie, whatever, and then everybody has to try and guess what you're saying without actually saying it, and then your mouth is like magnified, like huge, and like a magnifier, and so it's like, okay, great. Definitely a gimmick. I don't know. It's fine. I people will like it. It wasn't for me. I like other types of party games with drawing or maybe some knowledge or trivia or whatever. This is just like yeah, you could play without the list, without the lens. I mean, you could do, I don't know. It's just like not a fun game. I don't know. But we played. We tried it, so talked about it. I finally got Michael to agree to play Rococo. Or Rococo. Rococo? Rococo. Rococo. I don't know. You know, one of those. And we got the deluxe edition. And Michael absolutely loved it. And I have both editions, as you can see. I got the other one right over here, right over there, and the deluxe one's over here. I need to find a home for it, right? And I have to decide which one I'm gonna keep, because I don't know if I need both. They are the same game. There are no rules changes. There's obviously upgraded components to the new game. If you're a fan of the game originally, you're still a fan of it. Michael hadn't played it, so it was all new to him. He loved it, as expected. I knew he would. And I love it too. I love it. It's so good. I'm so glad we played it. Played it a couple times now at the deluxe. The deluxe board is absolutely ginormous and way too big, in my opinion. Like, huge. And the original had my color red, But I might still keep both anyway, because I'm a collector, right? We could play the deluxe one if it's out here, or we could bring Rococo if we're going out there. Not that I really bring Rococo with me wherever I go, but, you know, who knows? Who knows what will happen? The expansion jewelry box is in the deluxe edition, so if you're looking for that, you could get the deluxe and get the expansion. I have both, and the promos and everything in that original game that I have over there. But yeah, I really like the jewelry box expansion. I think it adds a lot. It's cool. It's cool. It's a cool addition. Recommend it. Play it. Love it. Buy it. I love that the new edition is now available. Basically, it's again available for people to find and acquire so that they can enjoy and love Rococo too. That's the best. That's the best thing about this, is that it's, you know, the reprint of an already fantastic game, and that people can now acquire it. That's what I love. Let's see, what else did I talk about? I talked about a game we played the other day called Hues and Cues. This was one that Shrey was interested in trying out, and one night we're like, who's around? And we got like 5 people to join in on a game of Hues and Cues, and it's great. It probably is better on my computer than Dan's computer. Dan was like, yeah, the whole top line is like the same color. I'm like, yeah, that's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be lighter shades of red as you go along. Dan has a computer. You didn't hear it from me. He probably doesn't. So he was having a harder time. I still lost the game, so no matter what I do, I lose. So, doesn't matter. I just have fun. I like it. It's a beautiful game. All the colors. Dan had bad colors, but he still won. Yeah. Jerk. Yay! I talked about Carnegie. I've already kind of talked about that today, but I'm going to talk about more, because I did get the prototype copy of the game sent to me, pre-Kickstarter, that Michael and I could play. We played on the live stream, and a fantastic prototype. Fantastic game. Now, the one thing I would hope that they keep, but I know they're not keeping, are the colors. In the prototype, there's yellow, green, blue, and red, and it's beautiful. And I love my red discs. And in the final production, it's going to be all these, like, not beautiful colors that I'm less excited about, like white and black and blue. I think yellow maybe, or beige. I don't know. I'm just like, I want my red discs. And so, you know what? If I still have the prototype when I get the original or the final production, I'm just going to put red in there. So I always have red. Exactly, Derek. I can keep them for the new copy. That's exactly right. And I think I will do that, because we've been playing it a whole bunch on Board Game Arena. It's in alpha status. So if you have the credentials to play in alpha status, then you can check it out. But it's interesting because we see all the updates that they're doing since we played it like late November, and so every time they have a correction, they put it in, they mix it into the mix on Board Game Arena, so you see it being updated. But the white is such a problem. I'm always the white player because that's my preference. If I can't be red, I'm white, and it's hard to see white discs. It's like everything gets lost. So white is not the best color choice in my opinion. But Carnegie is just such a fantastic game that I don't even care. I don't even care. It's so good. Since I already talked about it today, I won't continue talking about it, but it is a game that's going to Kickstarter on January 18th, and I cannot recommend it enough. It is a game I absolutely love, and very excited. Very, very excited. Shrey, Derek, and I are all big advocates for this game, so... Derek says, if you can, you should. If you love medium weight euros. Yes. If you, yeah. if you love medium weight Euros, this is definitely a game that you should check out when it hits Kickstarter. Again, favorite game that I learned in 2020. So I already know it's going to be a lot of people's favorite game in 2021, provided they actually fulfill a Kickstarter, which they will, obviously, and everybody can get it whenever it's released. If people start playing it by the end of 2021, I think it will be a lot of people's number one games. Yeah, it's fantastic. Fan-freaking-tastic. All right, so here's one that I talked about. Got a little conversation going on in the blog for it, but I played Dune Imperium, and we all played, Dan, Shrey, and I, and Derek too, and we all pretty much didn't care for it. Nothing that special going on in this game. I really don't like racing games, and this is a race to 10 points and you win kind of thing. It's a light deck builder, multi-use kind of card game, and I don't know, I think it really lost me when I was sitting at 9 points for 3 rounds, and I just could not get that last point I needed to push it over the edge. And it was highly frustrating. And I was frustrated more in the game than I was happy about playing the game. So in the end, it did not work for me. I understand a lot of people really like Dune Imperium, but it didn't work for me. People are also comparing it to Clank, but it's nothing really like Clank. Clank is way, way, way better. Way, 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 way better. Like, way better. And I don't even love Clank, but Clank is still way better. Again, this is just my opinion. I think, there were no real interesting choices to be had in Dune Imperium. There were choices, but yeah. I also agree, Shrey. Clank is very different. I don't know why people are comparing it, but I guess Dune Imperium can be considered a deck builder. I mean, you are building a deck, but it's not like Clank is a deck builder. I don't know. I think if Dune Imperium interests you, it's worth checking out, right? And it might work for you. The theme does nothing for me. So if you're already a fan of the theme, then this is probably good. You'll probably like it a little bit more than me. But you're limited to the actions you take based on the cards in your hand, and you're using cards so you would have to have a symbol on a card to go to that spot as your worker action for the round, for that turn. So if you don't have any of that, you're locked out of all of those actions. And so you're really limited by the cards in your hand, and it's very hard to pitch cards in the game. There are some cards that allow you to kill other cards, but it's rare. It doesn't happen very often. It felt clunky, and I got screwed over so many times by the cards that it's just like, more frustrated than not. What is Michael? Michael's there. Shrey's like, given how many people seem to like it, maybe I'll have to give it another try. It's very hard to deck build because you just don't have all that much money to get the cards you want. Michael! What? You could say hi. He's getting snacks.
Hi. I've got snacks.
He's got snacks. He's making a lot of noise. Snack break. Yeah, I'm gonna go get lunch after this. My list is almost done-ish. I got like 4 more. I played a game called Guillotine. Off with your head. Time to cabinet. Thank you. I need a drink. Cheers. I played a game called Guillotine. This was the last game. This was game number 500 that I learned in 2020. It was the last game that I learned because Michael's like, you haven't played Guillotine. And we were like, what should we play next on the stream? And Dan was like, play Guillotine. And Michael's like, yeah, let's play Guillotine. I'm like, okay, it'll be my number 500 game that I learned in 2020. So we did. Hey, it was cute. It was better than I was expecting. Lots of different card abilities, and it's a very simple set collection game. And kill off some people. I mean, I had fun with it, and it worked well as a 2-player game. Dan was like, it's so chaotic. It's so chaotic with more players. So, I guess, if you play with more players, you'll have a little bit of chaos. For a light card game, I think it works well. And I'd be happy to play that one again. You could have put it off till 2021, and then you could have gotten a little ahead. I could have gotten a little ahead because I still needed to learn one more to get to that 500 count. So, no matter what, I still needed to learn one more. So that worked. Oh, hey, Dan. He showed up. He heard his name. He heard his name and he showed up. Joke was free. It was Michael. I just read it. All right. Next game that I learned was actually the first game I learned in 2021. And Dan taught it to me, called Yin Yang. Because you complain a lot, Dan. That's why you were mentioned. Yeah. We were talking about Guillotine, and you suggested playing it, and that it's chaotic with more than 2 people. So. And we were talking about Dune Imperium. And we were talking about Carnegie. And we're talking about hues and cues and how your computer is old and how you even have a computer. So, we talked about you a lot. Because Dan's computer is bad. And yet you still won hues and cues. So, there's that. Watch out, the Dune fanboys will show up. That's right. That's right. No, okay, so Michael, if you're searching for the game Yin Yang, it's the third one down. I think it's like 1997. It's a third. If you type in BGG, it's the third one down. Yin Yang. 1997. Yeah, that one. And this was the game we played. We played it. It's straight up abstract. It's a straight up abstract game. It kind of looks like an Othello board a little bit, where you're trying to take over the white pieces if you're black, or take over the black pieces if you're white. It doesn't really work like Othello, but each turn you're going to move one of your discs one spot. But you also have these different rules that you create at the beginning of the game. So Dan and I were like, we don't know what a rule is. We don't know what to do. Like, we never played this game. We don't know what a good rule would be. And so basically it says, if you have black, 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 it will turn into this. Blank, black, black, black. And so you're getting rid of discs. Or if you have something that's like black, white, it will turn into black, 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 white. And so you make these different rules at the beginning of the game. You have 3 opportunities to make 3 different rules. And so if this pattern exists on the board, you can initiate this rule. So you're trying to take over the board, essentially, but the main goal is to try and get your disc into the other player's goal area. And so you're just trying to work your way across the board and apply your rules when applicable. And there's an opportunity to change your rules. If you made a rule that allows you to change rules, you can change it. So there's a lot going on for a fairly simple abstract game. And I liked it. I would definitely play it again, like Dan said. No, this is not the one with the turtle dice shaker. That's a different Yin Yang. And I've already played that one. And I would like to play that again. We should play that on the stream sometime, Michael. It's a great game. Michael and I played. I thought I talked about this one already, but we played Speakeasy Blues. So this one, I wasn't sure about. Like, it's been on my shelf since it came out. I played it in prototype form with Jess, and every time I play it, I'm like, this game is cool. This game is cool. And then, like, horrible things happen to me. I'm like, I hate this game. Like, every game has the highs and lows. It's a dice drafting game, and there's a lot of things to like about this game. So it stays on my shelf because I want to like this game. I want to like it. Michael liked it a lot more than I did. Michael said at the end of the game, it really shows you the highs and lows. And so I happen to agree with that. I mean, he got a crime card that just basically destroyed everything I was working towards the whole game. Like, I had a starting card that said, score 10 points if you have one of each type of the set collection symbols or whatever. So the whole game I'm working on getting these different symbols so I can fulfill this card. In the last turn of the game, he's like, crime card, I take any card I want from your stack, and he takes that card, and I lose that. And I'm just like, flip the table! So mad. I was so mad. It was just so... I was so mad. I'm like, I hate this game. Like, we're done. We're done here. And, just... So there are ways to mitigate that, and I forgot about the cops that I could have possibly revealed. So I need to remember that. I had cops in my tableau that I didn't have to reveal when I revealed them, so I could have possibly mitigated it. So it's like, I need to give it another chance, and I'm just like, oh my god. So I don't know. For me, there's so many good things happening in the game, and then there's the crime cards that I absolutely hate. Makes it less fun. Oh my god, Michael. That's so good. So good. So it's probably gonna stay on the shelf until the next pass through of the games. Do we keep this? Do we not? And so, like, I have a shelf of games that are just like, we gotta play that again to see if it's a keeper or not. And that was on the shelf, and I might just put it back on that shelf. Oh my god. Whoa. The last game that I wanted to talk about, that I talked about in the blog, was Roll Right Daifugo. Probably saying that wrong. It's the second game that I learned this year, thanks to Dan, and he taught us how to play. It's not really a print and play, but you can print the sheet off on BGG, and you grab 3 dice and you can try it out. So we all printed it out. And Dan rolled some dice, and we put in our numbers and played it. So it's a weird game where you're filling in this map, and then each column will generate a number by adding all the numbers that you've put in these bubbles. And so after the 12 rounds of placing all these numbers based on what you roll, you will have 12 unique numbers, or maybe unique. You'll have 12 individual numbers, and then you play out a climbing game. So if I created a 5, a 4, and then 4 7 columns, a 12, a 14, all of these go into little boxes that you will use in a climbing type game, card game. So you could play 5 7s, and then if somebody had 5 of something higher, they could play those 5 8s. And then you're trying to win these tricks, imaginary tricks, with the numbers you've created from the columns, and trying to get all your cards used before other plays. It's really weird. It's weird. It's a weird game, and I really liked it. It felt different. I want to play it again for sure. And so it was good. It's good. I'm glad we got to play it. Thanks for teaching, Dan. Yeah. And so that brings me to the new in my collection list, which is all the games that are right beside me that I wanted to show off. The first one was a Kickstarter. My Kickstarter came in. I'm very excited. Derek spent 3 hours unboxing and reboxing and boxing and boxing and reboxing. Let me see if I can pick it up. It's on the floor. I'm gonna fall over. It's so big. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Can't get it. So heavy. Oh my god. Gonna break my back. It's so heavy, guys. Okay. The Anachrony Infinity Box. My Kickstarter came in, and it's very large and in charge. Oh god! I think it weighed 12 pounds in the box it came in, and it didn't really have any packaging, so it's just like, this is like a 10-pound game right here. I do need a dolly to go with it. Yeah, that would be great. I'm excited. I'm not excited to open and put it all together, combining the two sets, because I know how long it took Derek, and I'm a little bit worried. So, but I'm excited to play Anachrony again. It's been 1,000 years since I've played Anachrony, so gotta get that one back to the table. I don't know if Michael's played it. You'll like it, Michael. I promise. Oh god. Wow. So, next game that came in that I am like so excited to play. So excited. So excited. Look at how cute. Look at, he's so cute. Frenemy Pastry Party. He's so cute. Oh my god, I love them. Oh my god, he's so cute. I can't help but love them. Can't. Now, the problem with this one is that it needs 3 players. 3 to 6 players. It's so cute, though. Oh my god. And look at this. It came with this amazing mat. I love it. It's so cute. Tom Vassell did not like. But look how cute. How can you be mad at them? You've heard it was mean. I mean, yeah, it says frenemy. So that probably means enemy. Cute equals good. It just means my hope is higher. I'll play it whenever I can. I'm not saying it will be the best ever, but I'm just saying, dang, it's so cute. Dan's like, if I ever care about Tom's opinion, please check me into a hospital. Fine, we'll check you into the hospital. Oh, there's an official mod? That means we can play it, Shrey? Shrey, let's play this game. Shrey. Okay, so we can play it. I'm excited. Michael, you don't have to play anymore. Lucky you. It's so blown out on the screen, I know. I was trying to hold it back. It has to like focus. And then it's not so bad. He's so cute though. There you go. Alright. The next 2 games just came in like a few days ago, and Michael and I need to play them like yesterday and get them on video. So because one of them, the first one, is currently in Kickstarter right now, and so this is a prototype of Darwin's Journey. Very excited about this. The guys, the guys who did Newton, right? I don't know. It looks really good. It has a lot of good feedback so far. So it's still a prototype, but it came from Rado himself. So I read the Kickstarter today, and I was like, what did Rado have to say? So he really liked it. So he didn't even insist on keeping the prototype, so he sent it to me. Yeah, so we'll play that probably this weekend and see if we can get that on the stream sometime soon. And another one that's going to Kickstarter next week that we're gonna try and stream. I got this, and I got this, which is Ping Yao Chinese banks and Ping Yao golden. Oh man, I don't remember, golden something or other. So this is Ping Yao, and it's a deep Euro, another deep Euro with lots of choices. Now, what's good about this game is that it's fairly easy to understand. I haven't played it with the expansion, which is supposedly changes it up a bunch. Ping Yao, the Golden Pawner. Alright. Yeah, it definitely is like... When we played, I first played this on... What? We played it during Jing Studios' live stream event. Shrey, Derek, Tyson, and I. And we all learned it and played through. It was kind of a long game. Because we didn't really know what we were doing. Derek was running like a Ponzi scheme, so who knows? But I'm excited. I'm excited to play it and figure out, if the expansion really changes it up, which I think it does. So yeah, Golden Pawner is the expansion, yeah, and the first Chinese banks is the first one. Oh yeah, there's numbers 2 and 6. I don't know. So this will be hitting Kickstarter for an English printing coming, I think, the 12th next week. So we'll definitely want to get that played and showed off a little bit so you can see if that's something you want to back on Kickstarter. And yeah. My God, I've been talking for like ever. People are probably sick of me talking. I'm like, I just go on and on and on. All the games, la 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 la. It's like, la 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 la. Yeah. So that's it. Michael and I played Castle of Tuscany last night, so we expect that to be on our Feld night whenever we get to have a Feld night coming up. I do want to teach him Oracle of Delphi first, so we can possibly play that with Castles of Tuscany. And we have to figure out what we want to play for Uwe Rosenberg night. Odin, 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 Odin. I'm always up for some piece for Odin. I love me Odin. Fields of Arl is so good. But my guess is that we will be playing not Space Beans. Le Havre, probably. No, I did not like Space Beans. Farmerama? I don't even think I've played Farmerama. Who has that? Does Joe Huber have that? I don't think Joe or Shannon has it. Yeah, I don't. Oops. Space Beans is fine. It's like high-speed Bonanza. Okay. So we have to decide on what we're gonna play for those designers, and yeah, probably Bob. That makes sense. Anyway. Alright, I am going to end here and I'll be right back. It's been a very eventful day. I did a lot of things. Dad's like, I'm not recommending Farmerama. Alright, we'll be right back. Where is it? Oh, here. it's time to come back once I see the cheesy dancing emotes from Derek. It's been going on too long. Oh. So yeah, that was a good day. It was a good run through of like literally all the games. Like that was like a ton of games. I had like everything listed. Everything was listed. And yeah. So I am probably gonna raid somebody. Is there anybody out there to raid? We got 20 viewers out there. Thanks for watching, everybody.